Hi everybody, I am Molly from the Feed team. Welcome to my home kitchen. I hope that you guys are all well. So today I am here to talk all things Driscoll's berries. So this is a product that is literally in my shopping cart every single week with, stay-at-home orders and all of what's going on in the world. I have sort of been stocking up on like double the berries, basically whatever berries they have. And I've just been kind of like finding fun ways to stretch those out over the 2 weeks until I get back to the store or till I get another delivery. So we're gonna be making like a frozen berry puree cube. They're great with little kids. I have a 3-year-old who is sleeping right now, so that's why I'm lucky enough to get on here with some quiet time during nap. They're great to use as like spoon feedings, like a start of solids. I like to mix them into my son's oatmeal, pop them in smoothies. There's a ton of ways we can use them, so let's start making them. So I have these delicious Driscoll's berries. They're so sweet. I wish you could smell them. They have like a beautiful floral aroma. I wanna just eat these, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna save them for our puree. So I have 6 ounces of the Driscoll's raspberries, and then I have 6 ounces of the blackberries. So this is really easy. I just have a small saucepan here, and I already rinsed these berries, so I'm gonna go ahead and just dump them right into our pan. One thing I wanted to talk about with the Driscoll's packaging is, even though I'm preserving these, this is only because I'm like sort of buying in bulk. These stay super fresh in the fridge because, as you can see, their packaging has like this unique hole, so it allows like the air to circulate in the berries in your fridge. So that's awesome about Driscoll's, but I promised my son I would show you guys. We've been saving our containers and making garages for race cars. So anyway, if you are a mom at home who is like looking for a project for kids, save these, paint them. They love to open them, put stuff in it. Okay, so back to our puree. So I have the raspberries in our pot. If you wanted to do blueberries or strawberries or all raspberries, whatever you want. And then I am going to add a cup of water. So like my version is definitely a looser puree because just of how I like to use it in like oatmeal and drinks and smoothies. I like it a little bit thinner. But if you wanted something thicker, like if you were going for more of like a jammy consistency or the consistency of a puree you might use in a dessert, just reduce the water and use about half a cup. But I'm gonna use a full cup today. So we're gonna just put that in to cover our berries. That's all you need. You could stop right there and put it on the stove, but I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh lemon juice, just because this lemon has been like lurking in my fridge. And then just a tiny bit of honey, again, only because I have sort of a finicky toddler in the house and he prefers things a little bit sweeter. But these berries, I'm telling you, are so delicious. They have so much flavor. They're so sweet naturally. The honey and the lemon is just sort of accentuating that flavor. It's not adding flavor, it's just highlighting the natural berry flavor. I'm just putting it on the burner. I'm gonna start at like medium-high heat, and I wanna bring that up to a boil, and then I'm gonna reduce the heat to a simmer and let it cook for like 5 to 7 minutes. So Driscolls.com is an amazing resource for like all of your berry questions. The best way to care for them, the best way to preserve them. Here's our berries. They came up to a boil, so now I'm just gonna reduce the heat a little bit to a simmer and they'll cook for like 5 minutes. But Driscolls.com has an amazing like resource. Each kind of berry that they sell, they have an entire page dedicated to how to preserve them, how to use them, recipes to use. And they have an awesome tip about freezing berries whole. So the way you do that is you just line a sheet pan. I have these little sheet pans, which are great if you are low on freezer space like me. Line a sheet pan with parchment, and then you would just wash your berries as you normally would, gently blot them dry, and kind of spread them out on the sheet pan. You want them not to kind of all clump together. And then you would pop this in the freezer for, I would say, probably 2 hours or so. You want them to be kind of solid. And then you can transfer them to a freezer safe plastic bag or a reusable plastic bag or any sort of freezer safe container. And then those that way you could bake with them whole. It's looking great. So you can see the berries are sort of breaking down. It smells so good in here. I'm gonna let it cook for probably like 1 more minute. Okay, now we are looking great. Can you kind of see how these berries have like transformed, broken down a little? They started to release all of their amazing juices. And let's talk about the best way to puree this. Today I am just so I don't drown you out with the noise of the blender, I'm just gonna do it by hand. So I have glass bowl with just a sieve on top, and I am going to pour our puree right in there. All these beauties. It like has such a fragrant aroma. I wish you could smell this. And then you just kind of work the berries through the sieve. So you don't want to waste any of this goodness. So you're just kind of like using the back of a spoon and just pushing all of that delicious sweet flavor right into the bowl. So obviously this is a lot faster if you did it like in a food processor or a blender, but it's really not hard to just do it by hand. And then this sort of like leftover goodness, don't throw this out. You can like pop this in a smoothie. You could use this on your yogurt. Okay, and then one thing you want to make sure to do is there's always going to be sort of some goodness on the side of your sieve. You just want to scrape that all in. Let me just give this a nice stir, and then I have just like an old school ice cube tray. If you don't have a tray like this, you could use like a little muffin tin, whatever you have. I'm just gonna pour these into the tray without making a giant mess. So then I just kind of like wiggle these around a little bit so that each cube is like a nice even portion. So I'll let it cool for probably a good 30 minutes, and then I cover it with like some plastic wrap and then pop it in the fridge and then let them set for like 6 to 8 hours. This is sort of what they look like. You can see this amazing color that they have. And I just have them on a sheet pan because I took them out of the mold and then I wanted them to kind of set up before I transfer them to a bag. But you can see that they have this amazing color, and I want to show you a couple ways to use them. So one favorite right now, and I'm sure all of the moms and dads and caretakers can relate to this, is cocktails and mocktails. So I basically just put 2 cubes into a glass. If you're doing a mocktail, you can just add some sparkling water. So look at this color. You see this? It's so satisfying. So like everyone's working at home, I've been like constantly wanting to nosh and snack, and this is like just a great thing to kind of sip on while you're sitting at the computer working from home. And then when it's 5 o'clock, add a little vodka or gin if that's your kind of thing, and you have like the perfect cocktail. Another way that I use them is just pop them in the blender. I think I said this already, but pop in the blender for a smoothie with like yogurt, plant-based yogurt, some oats I like to use, and maybe a banana, and then you have like this amazing smoothie. You can thaw them out. So here's one that I thawed out earlier, and put it into like either grown-up oatmeal or baby cereal. Obviously, if you have a little one under 1, skip the honey, but this is like perfect. So I hope that you are all stocking up on these amazing Driscoll's berries. There's like amazing recipes on their site, and there's so many ways that you can kind of preserve them and stretch them and keep them going in your kitchen while you are doing nothing but cooking at home. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.